Hello everyone. I started trying to get in a few minutes early, and apparently this Sunday it allowed me to get in right away. So there's a lot of people waiting. Hi Cats, hi Elaine, hi Adelaide, hi Sandra, hi Ilyanka. So what can I say? The spring is here. I've been out in the garden in earlier to try and finish the cleaning of debris. My main thing is what to do with them. So I have a neighbor who's got two big trash cans and allows me to borrow one of them. I'm probably going to need another week before getting rid of all. Hi Francis. But the good thing is that I almost finished planting all the seeds. I still have some morning glories to do and some cucumbers. Yes, I'm gonna grow cucumbers again. This year I'm not gonna do the lemon cucumbers, I'm gonna do the dragon's eggs. Those are all climbing and they are good for salads, but not very good for pickling. But anyway, I thought of showing you how to make some cherry blossoms and a pretty cherry blossom piece of jewelry without having to make a cane, because if you remember, and if you go in my playlists in the flower canes, you'll find a cherry blossom. Actually there are let me see, give me just a second and we'll go over them. So this is one cherry blossom, and I guess that's the only cherry blossom. But remember that I have morning glories, I have pansies. The pansies was in a live, the morning glory was a separate one. There was also a live with lily flowers, and of course I don't know what this one is doing here, shouldn't be here. Anyway, I'll have to check my lists to make sure that everything is in where it's supposed to be. Hi Sharon, hi Cara, hi Shirley. I didn't make, there is a Skinner blend involved, and I didn't make it ahead of time because it's one of those that you need to see how it's made. So you will need translucent. This is on the thickest setting, and it is approximately 1 inch by 2 inches of translucent on the thickest setting. And then you'll need a alizarin crimson that, as you can see, it's a little ball of about 3 millimeters, and white, that's a ball of about 1 centimeter in diameter. So why do I use translucent and just such a little bit of white? Because the cherry blossoms are slightly transparent. Hi J9. And I'm using only this little white because white is the most opaque clay ever possible. So that's why I'm not using a lot of it, because I don't want my petals to keep being slightly translucent, not fully opaque. So I'm just placing this, doesn't have to go all over. And you will have to cut the edge where the alizarin crimson is. Yes, it is the first day of spring, so for whoever celebrates spring. So this is pretty much how my Skinner blend is going to look like. And obviously it will go a few times. Just folded. Let me get it through the machine a couple times. And now I'm going to do a side V fold. Remember, when I do my V fold is whenever I try to pull one of the colors towards the other, but I'm not going to do it right in the middle. I'm going to do it sided, and that means it's like three. I kind of divide this in three, and I do the middle at the third. So pretty much like this, and then I can get this over because it's kind of the same thing. And again, a few folds in the machine. And as I said before, I'm going to have to cut the end because this is way too dense. Can you do less glycerin? Yeah, but it would have to be a miss or hit or miss thing. Yeah, it's actually quite warm here. I didn't even look at how warm it is at this exact moment. Not you. Oh wow, I just noticed. Tuesday. Goodness gracious. Let me show you what I just saw. Tuesday, look here. So it's quite bad for Louisiana and Mississippian. That's really, really bad. Anyway, I was going to look at the temperature and I clicked the wrong thing. It's 71. Right now it's supposed to go up to 78. Hi Colleen. So I'm going to keep going. And at this point I'm not going to even bother going very straight in a line, color on color, because I want this to go a little bit more this way. But for the time being, and to be clear here, I'm not doing the regular cherry tree for cherries flowers. I'm doing the sakura type, the decorative ones that are pinkier than the regular cherries. I mean, I have some dwarf cherry bushes that make black cherries in my backyard, and those flowers are white. They don't even have the slightest pink shade, not at all. And then I'm going to go again through the machine. And then another V-fold. This time I'm going to do it in the middle. I lost my camera again. It's actually not a cane, Colleen. It's just how to make regular cherry blossoms without having to make a cane. And one more. Now remember, once the clay is baked, it's going to be a little bit more opaque and even a tad darker. But yeah, this is a excuse me, this is a Skinner blend that requires a little bit of work. Might even cut more of this darker part here. So at this point, just keep rolling it to keep it narrow. I just showed the one before. There is another cherry. Give me a second. There is another cherry blossom that I have in my paid videos. If you give me just a second. And this for now is not in the list of the Amazon videos, so you can only get it on my website. I will go in and do a sale next week on all the tutorials for Easter. Give me just a second to find it. Goodness. There we go. So, and this is it. And I can actually grab it to show you how it looks in real life. So it has several videos. It's not just one video. But let me grab it. There we go. There we go. This is the one, but this one is made with Cernit. It's not with Premo. So, but yeah, that's not. I will soon. I'm still waiting. They said they sent me the link, and there were a few were approved, a few are still in approval process. But the links didn't get live. I called them. I'm gonna call them again tomorrow because there's nobody in that office over the weekend. Because I thought it's much easier to slowly move all my paid tutorials to Amazon, because then I don't have to deal with when people aren't able to download because of their device or operating system, because obviously I'm not YouTube, I'm not Vivo, or I'm not Amazon to have all kinds of codexes so that every single device in the world can watch and upload. Hi Tish. but okay, at this point what you want to do is to simply keep rolling. You can get a little bit on a diagonal to make it a little more extended, but at this point what you want to do practically is to keep it fairly narrow. Because you will need it fairly narrow, and I mean much narrower than this. You need the final one to be strips about this narrow. So just keep going until you get very little line of color difference. It has to be very, very well blended, because unlike with the cane, you cannot go and put it on I know that there's quite a few people near Phoenix, Kim. Quite a number of them. But did you ever check, oh God, where was it? I think it's closed. There was a website that was showing all kinds of polymer clay groups. I might just, you know, open up a little side page on my website to list all the groups. I'm trying to remember because I know that I've seen. Hi Glenda. There's a lot of possibilities to go to classes simply by going virtual. Actually, I was thinking of doing that, not on YouTube, because YouTube is not very good about that, but on Facebook. Even if Facebook, the thing that I hate about Facebook is that they have a very poor quality of videos. I mean, I'm struggling, and you know that my videos, my uploaded videos on YouTube are very, very sharp. They are not like they were when I first started posting tutorials. And I would put a 4K quality video on Facebook that took like 4 hours to get rendered in the video editing software. Next thing you know, Facebook puts it up at 720. So I don't know, Zoom you have to pay to, don't you have to pay to be more than an hour? At least that's what I remember. Okay, so we're gonna go into one. I got this and I'm going to go with it through the machine on a very thin setting, but not yet. First, let's set the stage. And I'm going to set the stage with some black. and I want it a little bit more rectangular than anything. So I'm gonna do this, and then to make sure that everything is nice and flat, I'm going to burnish with a little bit of, because no matter what you do, when you get the clay from the machine, I don't know if you've seen that mentioned anywhere, but if you get on the machine, all the clay that you get from the machine will not be perfectly even. For two simple reasons, because there might be some gears in your machine. Sometimes the gear in your machine may make a little wobble, or just by manipulating and pulling it, you manage to thin out a part of it. So your best bet is to get some wax paper, and you can see here, because remember, the wax paper is going to show you when something isn't perfectly even, because it's not going to adhere to it if it is below. Hi, Hirasuna. Yeah, I'm not very happy about Zoom. Because they also don't have very great security. Okay, now let's go ahead and cut it in a rectangle, just for the image, because I'm going to do some other stuff to it here in a second. Alright, now I'm going to use this as the base. But yeah, that's the other thing. You can meet with friends and clay together over Messenger, over Zoom, over whatever. You don't have to meet in person. And it's much easier for everybody, honestly. Okay, so the first thing that I am going to do is to make a little bit of a branch. And what I mean by a branch is going to be simply one line. But I'm going to use two colors. I'm going to use the burnt sienna, burnt umber, and sienna. Both on a thin setting. All right, so I am going to cut one strip of burnt umber, not very wide, and actually before cutting that one strip, I'm going to cut the line on the sienna. And I'm picking it up on my blade and then bring it over. Oops, it didn't work that good. Bringing it over and getting it on top of the, on the side of the sienna. And I don't need this. It's a lot of trouble for just a little strip, but trust me, it looks very pretty. Make sure that it is nice and even. And now I'm going to cut an even thinner area of the sienna. Pretty much this. And this I can put to the side. And then I'm going to get this here, like this. Let's trim that. No, not yet, unfortunately. They are still in a box. Got so much to do, as I said. I cannot enjoy a lot of stuff right now because number one, I have the garden to take care of, and that doesn't wait. I mean, if I don't do it now, that means that certain things will not bloom or will not develop properly this summer, spring, summer, fall, whatever you want to name it. And you don't even have to go perfectly burnished with this because you want a little bit of 3D. Just make sure that you trim again because it might be a little bit of deforming when you're doing that slight burnishing. I'm thinking maybe I might put them up first in a live. Okay, so this is what we are going to start with, and I'm going to first grab a piece of this because I only need a little bit at a time, and this is going to be very, very, very thin. So I'm going to kind of make it even narrower by pulling, and then I go with it on the thinnest I possibly can on the pasta machine. And I got here my wax paper. I'll put this to the side for the second. For the next thing, what I'm going to need is a small round cutter. Yeah, I don't have a homeowners association, but our city is very, very strict when it comes to how the front of your house looks like. I mean, they would come after you if you have any kind of tiny peeling on the paint, on the windowsills, or if the grass. I think the maximum is 10 inches. But yeah, they can be quite nasty about that. Okay, so I'm going to first choose. This is, I think it's smaller than 1 centimeter, and these are the BT clay doodlers that I got from PolyClay Play. So let me see. Yeah, it is on 8 millimeters. Of course, you can do it bigger or smaller if you want. It's entirely up to you. And I'm going to need a ball stylus. Okay, so you want to start with, that's why I said you have to make it as thin as possible, because your cutter has to be on the whiter side. The thing is that you can grab this strip that's left over and you can remake it into another strip. It's reusable. I didn't mean that. Where's my... So yeah, it's been like 2 weeks since I last worked on anything experimental, that is. But let me actually see, when is Easter? April 17. So we might have a giveaway then. My main thing with what you post online or not post online is, it's unbelievable how many people aren't able to even understand what's posted. I mean, I've seen videos that were posted by people trying to prove something, about somebody. Okay, so let me get it from the beginning, because it's hard to understand like this. So let's say somebody said something, and some other people came on top of that and said, oh, so he slash she, them, whatever, said, insert very damning thing. Person comes back and explains, hey, read what I wrote at, or listen at minute blah blah of, or read the newspapers this day article, this article. Then people who, what is going on? Do you see what I'm doing? Because all of a sudden I got poor streaming. Let me check what is going on. I have good speed. I have good ping. But for some reason, I mean, let me show you what I'm seeing. This is what YouTube says. So I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, so let me finish doing this so we can do at least a few. I wonder if video's getting some DDoS or something. Something's going on. So you don't have buffering, or yeah, I guess that's why they say tiny amount of jerkiness. That means there is some issue. Okay, now I'm going to first do, I have my little toothpick, and I'm going to grab one of these and what I'm going to do first is roll it. Then let's grab another one. And again, the area that you need to completely flatten, oh come on, the area that you need to completely flatten is the whitish area. What was that? I think I'm getting some gremlins or something. And let's place this here. And then I'm going to pinch here, pinch, roll, and cut it about here. So this will be the middle of the flower. All right. Before I do anything, I'm going to have to treat my ball stylus. So Armor All, remember this. And yeah, I got something on the other side of the, okay, so let me do a few of these. And then show you how you're supposed to. And it is fine if the edge is not perfectly round. You want that actually. Because if you look at the flowers in the garden, if you have any trees, that is exactly how those petals look like. Well, Finnegan is actually sleeping somewhere. And the cables are under the carpet, so he shouldn't be able, even if he does go under the carpet sometimes. It's one of his favorite games. He's tunneling. I have to be careful when I'm in another room and then I have to go in the living room. If I see any kind of bump in the carpet, that's Finnegan underneath. Yeah, I have no idea what is going on. As I said, I have good speed. That's not my... Let me see if I have anything going that shouldn't be going. What is feeds? something that supposedly is feeds. Was taking a lot of memory. Huh. I'll have to go back and see what's going on. No, it was Windows feeds. Oh yeah, do we have any kind of... It was Windows news feeds that were slowing the transmission for some reason. Oh, now it's fine. Okay, are we still good? Can you see it better? Alrighty. Then I guess whatever problem was got. I'll have to check. It is possible that I have a Windows update that I missed, because nowadays that's what Windows does. If you don't do the update when they want you to do it, they are going to start slowing down your computer. It's not like before where you could... Okay, this should be enough, these many. Of course I'm gonna make actually 3 flowers so that I can show you. Yeah, no, I have Windows 10, but it is set on manual upgrade. It was apparently the, you know how you have all those news on the bottom right of the taskbar? That one had swelled up to like 8 gigabytes. Was trying to push 8 gigabytes of something, so I don't think that there are any... It's still a little slow, but I don't think that there are any news that important. No, there's nothing right now. Let me check. Maybe one more thing that might affect in my area. It's still kind of slow. Let me see if they started again. No, the feeds are not started again. Yeah, there is a solar storm. There is a solar storm going on, so maybe that's what messes stuff. Okay. So what you start with, so you have all these little ones already worked. I don't get the warning, so everything should be back to normal. So we have all these that are all nice and worked with the bowl stylus. So I'm going to place this one here. So you want to place them with the darker pink inside. Oops. See if I did enough of them or not. Hey. Now at this point what you need to do is to make sure that they are fairly ruffled. This is why you need to insist on the edges with your ball stylus so that you can keep them relatively ruffled. And even before putting them down, you can ruffle them a little bit. Which I broke it. I might have to make one or two more. So bring them up. And here I'm going to use the I'm going to need one more. So as before, go thin on the whitish edge and then grab it by positioning the tip of the toothpick on the pinkest area. And I broke it a little bit, but that's fine. And then bring it up and around a little. So you'll need kind of two of these. And then grab this very careful, and you can use also let me see if I have it here. There you go. You can use a needle. And there we go, we have one of the flowers. I check it on the NOAA. Weather, space weather. Okay, the second one we are going to do more of a half opened one, or I can also show you something else. Let me see. Let's grab a pinch of this that I got from cutting the. Yeah, I just cannot show you how to grow my nails, which are a pain. I actually need to trim them. And they are a pain to trim because they are super thick, and I need to use one of those toe clippers to trim them. Okay, for the next one it's going to be a little bit more delicate to, when you do a half open flowers, it's going to be a little bit more delicate to place it on. So I made a little ball. And I'm bringing this over, not entirely. It's a little difficult to keep this under the camera as well as working on it. Okay, let me get a few more done before I start showing you how to work them. Oh, it's called oh, what's the name of it? The generic name is diclofenac. It's an ointment, a gel. And I put it on my, it only worked for about an hour and a half though, so I put it on my on the base of my thumb about 5 minutes before I start the live or start working with clay, stuff like that. Okay, now I'm going to grab this with my and place it on the opposite side, and again start bringing stuff over. Drop it. Yeah, lidocaine cream doesn't work for me. It doesn't go deep enough. Yeah, I don't have carpal tunnel. I have osteoarthritis of the base of the thumb. And on my right hand, there's actually a broken spur floating somewhere here. Alright. So I got 2 more petals, and these will constitute another little flower. And as you can see, because of my hand, I have veins here. Let me actually show you. CBD doesn't do anything for me. See the veining on the petal when you do it on your hand, on your palm. Oh my God, now you're making me. What's the name of the brand? The diclofenac is given for arthritis orally, but there's it's an NSAID. It starts with a V. Voltaren. That's how it's called. Voltaren. Used to be you needed a prescription for it, but now it's over the counter. Oh, shut up. This is what I'm using. Voltaren. And you can find it in generic as well. I don't have any kind of adverse reactions to it, but yeah, this helps me with being able to. No, diclofenac is not a leaf. The leaf is naproxen, a completely different thing. All right. Now let's get back to the cherry blossoms. I'm going to go on the side here and place the next one even more up, and then the next one again a little bit higher on the whole thing, and bring it over. And then the last thing I do, because I remember I still have the little ball here that doesn't really look like a flower, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to first make a little bit of sepals. Where's my, hold on, there we go. I'm going to get a little bit of alizarin crimson and make a little line, little string, and cut, 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 cut. You can make 4 or 5, you don't need more than that, but I'm making, so cut them at about 1 inch length, and then wedge up both ends, because that will allow you to make 2 out of each. So I'm going to have to get this closer. Actually, let me do the zooming part. There we go. So I'm cutting each of these, and if you ladies don't mind, let's have a discussion about our health issues, not when I'm doing a polymer clay tutorial. Okay, so grab one of these and let's place it here. And once you place it, grab the needle and go in the middle and give it a little, it will look almost like an anise, star anise thingy, but this is how it's supposed to look like. You don't have to be perfect with this, because it's going to be covered. Now I'm going to place this here, and remember I still have that little ball in the middle, so I'm going to go all the way pushing with the needle, because after that I'll be able to cover it up by doing a little cut that will kind of look like petals. Trying to come up. So let me make sure one more time that it is well stuck there. And now we have the petals right here. Now if we want to make a bud, again going with the little alizarin crimson, and yes, they are alizarin crimson in color, pretty much the little thing that holds the flowers. So as I said, you wedge them up on both ends and then you cut them in half, and this way you'll have two of them. So last ones. Oh, come on, get off. Last ones. I'm going to make, you only need like 3 or 4 petals for the very last one. And I'm going to be very honest with you, for cherry petals and for flowers in general, Premo is not, shouldn't be your clay of choice. Your best bet is Cernit, and out of the Cernit, the line Opaline is the best because it has a slight translucency, like, so it looks a little bit like alabaster. I don't know if you've ever seen an alabaster sculpture, but this is pretty much how it would look. Now again, I'm going to start with a little bead like thing, which is a little bit too big. So going to start with this and then start placing the petals around it, and you pretty much don't need both sides. You only need most of it on one side because that's what's going to show. And one more. Finnegan. I swear that cat is more on this table than I am. I mean, doing stuff on this table more than I am. Okay, now I am going to place it right here and bring these in a little bit. And this time I'm going to very gently I know this is more delicate than what I'm usually showing, but it's more on the realistic side. My main problem is to keep my hands in the view practically perfectly under the camera. So you see how I'm doing just the bottom pretty much. You can do a little bit of the top, but the bottom is what you're interested in. And one more, and that's it. After which, this you can actually first sand the base. Let me get back to non-zoom. You can actually first sand the base before applying everything else on it. But generally speaking, let me get this refocused so you can see it closer. And this is how it looks, very, very close up, and you can see it's quite tiny. But yeah, this is pretty much how to make not just cherry blossom but any tree blossoms. And I know that there are quite a bit of tutorials out there, but one thing I can tell you, if you want to make flowers, realistic flowers, it's pretty much a hassle. I mean, they are not very easy to make, but they also the tinier they are, the more work you'll have to do, obviously, because you know what I don't find, and I know that I did have it, I just didn't add it here. Oh, this is flower canes, never mind. Give me just a second, because there's another live I had a while ago. That was with spring flowers. And in which I did Lily of the Valley, what else did I do? I did no, this was not spring flower brooches, and this is the first part. Let me grab the link for you. And then there's the link for the second part in the description. Yeah, they can be, but just in case you haven't seen it before, so I did pansies, I did lily of the valley, I did daffodils, I did wild hyacinths. Let's see. The violets. And these are faux hyacinths. And I think I also did, let's see, this is the second one. And I showed you how to finish the brooches with all kinds of other stuff. But anyway, if you want to go look on more spring flowers. There's quite a bit of tutorials I have out there, and then I had some of the lives also on that. But for now, this was how to make cherry flowers without a cane, because I did, as I said, with the page tutorial I have, that is with a cane, and actually I still have some of the canes, and I'm going to make some more cherry flowers for something, or I don't know, I might just add them up in the stash. Remember that this stash is going to be Friday. The second part of the stash is going to be Friday, and I've set it for 4:30. And this time I'm going to have more stuff, and whatever didn't get sold from the past stash, I'm going to just remix and rematch, because sometimes people don't get something because they wanted to do something. They wanted one thing from one and another thing from the other. But thank you so much, and I hope that you have a great Sunday. I'm going to go rest a little bit and then go back out in the garden until it will get too hot for me to work out there. But yeah, this is something I did with my sponsors yesterday. It was part of this was a painting. As you can see, this is completely flat, also with cherry blossoms. But I hope you try your hand at it, and you will love them. And you have try them larger initially, and then try them smaller, because you can do something bigger, and if it's not looking like a cherry bloom, it might look like a rhododendron, right? Thank you so much, and have a great weekend and week to come. Stay healthy, stay safe, and don't forget to give me thumbs up. See you Friday actually, and then next Sunday. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you for being here with me. See you soon.